Out of the blue corner with his trainer Michael McCallum, wearing white, trimmed with gold, officially weighing in at 147 pounds. As a professional, 28 victories, including 10 wins by knockout, only 2 defeats, with 1 draw. He's the fighting pride of Las Vegas, former super lightweight world champion, former welterweight world champion, Jessie Vargas.
Okay, gentlemen, we're going to go all the rules. This is his belt line. I don't want to see anything below there, nothing behind. Any questions from anybody? If not, let's touch them up. Let's take care of business.
So the WBC Silver welterweight title on the line here. And certainly for Vargas, the shots at Sean Porter will await if he can get the win. Or at least he will move into line for a challenge for the WBC title. There is a potential unification looming between Porter and Errol Spence. Vargas in the white, Dulorme in the red and gold. Dulorme looking to start strong there with a big right hand.
Yep, lazy jab from Vargas, and Dulorme comes straight over the top with a nice right hand.
Good fighter, Vargas. Doesn't do a lot wrong. Good hand speed, good variation. Not the biggest puncher, but we see against Ali, he can hurt you. Good rounded boxer, but Dulorme himself knows his way around the ring. And as we see at the beginning there, throws a lovely looping right backhand. Vargas is going to have to watch that.
Well, Dulorme, born in French Guyana, but moved to Puerto Rico, where his mother's from, when he was young, and that's where he identifies as being from. An island that's produced so many great champions. Vargas just not quite reaching with the jab at the moment. Good jab to the body there from Dulorme. He's made a nice purposeful start here.
Yeah, Vargas not quite found his range yet, falling short with his jabs. Just needs to get a little bit closer with his feet.
Trying to land that right hand again, big looping shot it is from Dulorme, but he manages to find the target with it most of the time. Quick hands, very quick hands from Dulorme. I agree with you, Matt. I think he's just struggling to find his range. Good.
It's interesting that from Dulorme. He was just slipping and rolling his way a little bit closer, and then when Vargas popped out the jab, he immediately just threw that big right hand over the top. And as you said right at the start, Matt, maybe he's identified the fact that Vargas sometimes, not always, brings that jab back a bit low.
Yeah, and I think Vargas is cagey at the minute, a little bit wary of the hand speed of Dulorme, who certainly seems to have the edge in hand speed. So I think Vargas just a bit cagey at first, just trying to before he starts committing. I think he's trying to time Dulorme. You know, he's trying to use his feints.
Well, into the final few seconds of round one, and I think this could well be a very interesting fight on the evidence of the opening 10 seconds. Well, the opening round, the last 10 seconds of the round, and you almost went down there, Vargas.
Yeah.
Well, good finish to the round from Dulorme. Vargas, who we're looking at here, he kind of lunged in with the jab, and when it didn't reach, his feet got stuck and the left hand just caught him high on the head. It was more a loss of balance than him being hurt, but his knees dipped and he almost touched down.
Yeah, I mean, if he had a touchdown, it would have been a legitimate knockdown, albeit I don't think he was particularly hurt. He was just more off balance. He overcommitted, he reached with his shot, fell off balance, and Dulorme clipped him with the left hook. But Yeah, decent start from Dulorme. Like I say, Vargas struggling a little bit with the speed, the hand speed of Dulorme, who's found his range where Vargas doesn't seem to have yet.
Right to the body there from Dulorme.
Yeah, good shot that was. Just short with a double jab, but he followed through with the right hand and really drove it into the body.
They're both slightly out of range, as you can see here, but the difference is Dulorme stepping in behind a double jab, therefore finding that backhand better than Vargas is at the minute.
You know, Dulorme is the one who's prepared to commit to it. He's really, when he's coming, he's throwing it. He's not half-hearted. When he's letting that right hand go, he's throwing it, and he's coming in quickly, that if he misses, he's in on top of Vargas where he can't get his counters off anyway.
It's a shot to nothing, isn't it? Because, as you say, throws it and then moves straight onto the shoulder, and there's not really anything you can do about it. Good couple of body punches there from Dulorme.
He also rolls after he throws that right hand. He's quite clever in what he does. He rolls after it, and then he ends up on the chest of Vargas.
You want conviction. What you don't want to be is half-hearted, caught in no man's land. If you're throwing it or you're not, if you're throwing it, throw it and come in with it. So at least if you miss, you're in on top of him and you can smother him or hold him where you're safe. Where if you get caught in no man's land, that's where you don't want to be.
Good left hand, nice straight left hand there from Dulorme. He let rip with a right uppercut just before that, but didn't quite land it. When he does get into range, as you've been saying, he steps in. He jumps in almost, and then he really throws with purpose. I think the heads came together there, and there's maybe a cut just above the right eye in the eyebrow, along the eyebrow. That might not be too clever. It was difficult to get a good look at it.
That's a shame for Vargas so early on in the fight. But I must say, it's been a great start from Dulorme here. Very positive in his approach to this already. Quick hand, stepping in, like we said. Really committing himself with that right hand. Yeah, Vargas looking very cagey.
Yeah, I don't think Vargas has got to grips with the hand speed of Dulorme yet. He's still struggling with it a little bit, hasn't found his range.
I think committing is the key word here, isn't it? Because as you've said, Dulorme's doing it, Vargas is not. He's being made to fall short with that left hand, and whenever he does, that's really the cue for the man in red and gold to spring on him.
Yeah, I mean, Vargas isn't the fastest fighter in the world, but he has got good timing, but he hasn't timed Dulorme's jab yet. He hasn't timed it. He's still struggling with that. He hasn't got to grips with it where, you know, Dulorme mixing things up a little bit.
Sorry.
We're heading into the third round, and this is an interesting fight, and I think the referee might have a word about all the Vaseline applied to that cut. It looked to us, seeing some replays, like that cut was caused by a left hand of Dulorme, but I think I heard the referee in the background there, Stephen Blair, say that it was caused by a clash of heads. If that was his voice, then I think he's got that one wrong. Straight left hand there from Vargas, but it's not a bad cut, so it shouldn't hopefully have too much bearing.
Yeah, Dulorme looking to, with the lead left hook, he's looking to kind of lean in as if to feint the jab, and then he's looking to switch it into a left hook.
It's a better jab from Vargas there. Speeding it up slightly, but falling short again with his right hand. He needs to step in, double jab, and then follow up with the backhand.
Yeah, his single shots, you know, they're ineffective really. They're not enough. He needs to put 2 and 3 and 4 shots together at the minute. His single jabs, Dulorme's seen him coming a mile away, and you know, he's the faster fighter. He's beating him to the punch. Lovely right hand there from Dulorme.
Well, in his last fight against Adrian Broner, Vargas got more into the fight in the second half of it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens here. Like I say, he's not a particularly fast fighter, but he does have good timing. So I think once he gets to grips with the speed and the style of Dulorme and he starts timing him, I think that's when he'll be able to start and find his range. He hasn't even found his range yet. When he gets that and it all starts clicking, you know, I think he's going to improve as the fight goes on. But at the minute, Dulorme's speed and, you know, it's definitely giving him a few problems.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, definitely. It's just finding that range. It's just out slightly. But yeah, like you say, Matt, I think as the rounds go on, we'll see him close that gap slightly and start timing his punches better. But it was a good left hook from Vargas.
Good left hand on the inside, just after Dulorme again really stepped in through the jab and then through the right hand, and he's continuing to do that.
Yeah, good jab to the solar plexus there as well, and fell short with the right hand, but like Darren said, rolled under nicely and made sure he wasn't countered by Vargas.
Vargas, a Matchroom USA fighter, signed under that banner in the summer. And they've delivered a good fight for him straight away, but he needs to take this opportunity. And he's in a real live contest here as we head into the final 10 seconds of round 3. Nice right to the body there from Dulorme as Vargas again just fell short. So 3 rounds down, and there's the damage to the eye. They seem to have sealed that up pretty effectively in the corner. Not a bad cuts man working with Mike McCallum, Vargas's trainer. So Mr. Duran. Jessie Vargas in the white and gold, Thomas Dulorme in the red and gold. Dulorme looking for the right hand over the top, Vargas letting his hands go on the inside.
Yeah, they were nice body shots there from Vargas. Quick 4-punch combination to the midsection of Dulorme. That was classy. But it was all set up from a lazy, sloppy right hand from Dulorme. Didn't step him behind the jab, he just threw a lead right hand and fell short.
Yeah, Vargas seems to have settled into the fight a little bit more now. That was a, you know, looking for the quick counter left hook there, just short.
Took the feet back well there, Vargas, the right hand of Dulorme this time. Didn't quite make it to the target. It's one of those fighters, Vargas, whose concentration is so intent with that wide-eyed kind of look about him. He looks slightly startled all of the time. It's not the case, but that's how he looks.
He does, almost deer caught in the headlights.
Good right hand. Good right hand from Vargas.
And Dulorme just looking to hold on a little bit here.
Yeah, he definitely felt that. Looking to hold Dulorme. Oh, good right hand.
Chopping down right hand, found the target, then again with the left hand, and Vargas, I think, feels that he's got his man hurt here. He's just sensing it, and Dulorme's trying to get onto the inside and wrap him up, and there's plenty of time left in this round, and maybe this is a turning of the tide. Lead left hook there from Vargas. Caught Dulorme again as he was coming forward.
Well, we were talking about timing and range, and Vargas seems to have found both now.
Yeah, picking the punches nicely. Making Dulorme fall short. Classy work.
Just taking that little half step out of range. I think he's trying to lure Dulorme, trying to make him reach and then trying to counter him.
Shaping to throw the right hand, didn't let it go, and Dulorme just snuck a left hand down the middle. This has been a good round for Vargas, comfortably his best of the fight so far.
Yep, nice 1-2 double left hook combination there from Vargas. Oh, big right hand.
Good left hand on the inside there for Vargas as well. A bit of swelling maybe around the left eye there of Dulorme. Not too much to get excited about though. Good action in this 4th round.
Yep, good exchange there, and Vargas had the better of it.
30 seconds.
Final few seconds of round 4. Dulorme looking to finish strongly here. There's that exchange from the end of the round, and this has been an interesting one right from the very start of the fight. Dulorme will have been aware of the script here this evening, that he wants to try and write his own. He finished strongly in that round, but it was a Vargas round, you would say. It was his best round of the fight so far by a mile. Yeah,
without a doubt, it was his best round, and I gave him the round. Like you say, Dulorme finished strong, but up until that point, it was a good round from Vargas, who seems to have found his range now. His timing's good, and he's got to grips with the speed of Dulorme, and he's starting to work him out now, I feel.
Yeah, I agree there. But Dulorme seems to be stepping in a bit more now, really trying to walk Vargas down more than he was in the opening rounds, trying to push him back, trying to back him onto the ropes. But having said that, Vargas, when he was backed into the ropes, could have left it by Dulorme then. When he was backed up on the ropes, he was getting the better of the exchanges whilst on the ropes.
Left hand there from Vargas. Dulorme not working that jab quite as much as he was before, threw it there, but earlier in the fight he was looking to jab to the head, jab to the body, kind of raid in from distance, throw straight right hands to the body as well. He's tending to look more now for big single shots, Dulorme.
And that will suit Vargas down to the ground with the variation he has and the boxing brain and ability. If he can feint, try and get Dulorme to throw up, load up, throw a big shot, and then counter with flashy combinations.
I like the way Dulorme is jabbing the body here, keeps jabbing the body, and then you think that he's kind of setting him up for either a feint the body, lead left hook, or feint the body, overhand right, but he's definitely trying to set a trap for one of those punches.
Well, it was good to see him get back to that, because that's what I was just saying, that he stopped doing it and he was looking for big shots, but it'd been working for him earlier in the fight. It just knocks your opponent off his rhythm a bit. I always think it's a really underrated shot, the jab to the body. You hit something, it has an effect.
Yeah, and you're trying to draw a reaction from your opponent, and the jab to the body, if you keep throwing it, eventually your opponent's going to drop their hands, expecting nothing to come back. Then you come back with you follow it up with a right hand. So it's good work from Dulorme. I'd like to see him put the right hand over the top as well.
Yeah, you're bringing his focus, you know, you're jabbing the body, his focus is on your left hand that's going down to the body, and eventually you switch the tack, whether it's the left hook to the head or the right hand over the top. Good shots here.
Dulorme with a nice left hand just knocks Vargas back towards the ropes. The combination before that, I don't think either reached with maximum power. I think they were both towards the end of their journey when they landed on Vargas, but the left hand as he turned him onto the ropes was a good punch.
Come on, let's keep it clean.
It's not an easy round to score, that one, because Vargas was, I don't know, maybe having the better of it, and then Dulorme just turned in a really, really good finish. And this is a good fight. This is a tight fight.
It is, you know, it was almost a round of two halves there. Vargas started really well, but to be honest, if I had to pick a winner, I'd probably go to more, you know, I just preferred his work, if I'm honest. At the end, I think he...
Yeah, there were some good exchanges, weren't there, where you think Vargas had the upper hand and then Dulorme comes firing back, landing a couple of good shots. It was, it ebbed and flowed really, like you say. They both had their moments in that round.
The heads coming together again there, Dulorme.
It looked good, that left hand, as he backed him up to the ropes, but didn't actually get through. It landed on the glove. The previous two didn't quite make it either. So it's interesting when you see these things again. What looked like scoring shots and what may have done to the judges too actually weren't, but the body language there from Dulorme, the intent was very positive going into round 6, so we're nearly at the halfway stage of this one. And let's have a look at your scorecard, Matt, and you've got it level through 5 rounds, and that's an indication of how tight it's been. You don't like to give drawn rounds, but you've given one there in round 3.
Yeah, I couldn't separate them. It was one of those rounds that ebbed and flowed. Both had the moments, and there was no one that I felt at the end of it had particularly had the upper hand. It was a very close round, and I couldn't separate them.
I wouldn't disagree with that scorecard either. You know, it's been a well-fought contest so far. Not much in it at all. And, you know, at this stage in the fight, it's very hard to pick a winner moving forward.
Watch where they're going.
Dulorme looking for that right hand. He hasn't thrown that right hand. That kind of looping right hand, almost an overhand right at times. That much since the first couple of rounds. He's looking to just throw it when he can see it, and Vargas has maybe tightened up that jab. Good left hook from Vargas, followed by the right hand. That was a nice combination, and Dulorme just looking to hold on there and buy himself a little bit of time.
That was a sharp counter left hook from Vargas. I thought that buzzed Dulorme momentarily. No, needs to get his feet closer, can't punch from too far out. Dulorme too sharp, going to see that coming. And vice versa, you know, both guys very switched on here, very alert, eyes wide open. I don't think either guy is going to get caught with anything coming from that far out. They need to dress their attacks up, feint, set it up behind the jab, set traps, keep jabbing the body, then look to bring the right hand over the top.
That's a decent right hand from Dulorme as he moved away to his right.
Well, that is the problem with the jab to the body, whereas if you do... Oh, good right hand. That was a lovely shot, Dulorme there. But like I was saying, the jab to the body, though it is a good shot, if you do throw it lazy and sloppy, you can get caught with a counter right hand, which Vargas did there.
Fell short with the right hand there, Vargas, and he was in a little bit of trouble, but Dulorme couldn't quite find him.
This is good quality stuff here. You can see both guys really thinking.
Dulorme trying to move in behind that double jab. Vargas this time falling just slightly short. Something he hasn't quite addressed throughout this fight so far, just that distance. He's landing some good shots, but a lot of the time he is falling short. Right hand there from Vargas as he turned in the corner right at the end of the round.
These are good rounds, and you know, it really is a game of chess. It's the type of fights I used to like having, you know, where you're thinking all the time, how are you going to find an opening? You know, what tactics and traps are you going to try and adopt to try and find openings, and both thinking all the time, non-stop. Quality stuff.
Yeah, good left hook there from Vargas, and right hand. Followed up with the right hand. I thought that buzzed Dulorme. It was a good round from Vargas. I thought he had the better of the action, particularly with the jab, that combination there as well. Not much in these rounds, but I just think that the more accurate shots were coming from Vargas, even though that was a good right hand from Dulorme there.
Seconds out! Let's go! 7.
And it's a good watch, this. They're well matched. It's been a very competitive fight, and as you say, they're just looking, trying to find gaps. So I have a question for the pair of you, boxed at this level, at world level. How often at this level do you throw and land the punch that you can see? What I mean by that is, does an opening ever present itself for long enough that you see it throw and land, or does that just quite simply not happen here? Is it all about drawing responses, bluffing, laying traps?
Yeah, I mean, you're setting traps, you're feinting, you're putting points, rounds in the bag. You're also concentrating on maybe wearing the guy, you know, you're concentrating that you're comfortable in the pace, that you're making him work at a pace he's not comfortable at. You're trying to put one in the body whenever you can, take their legs away, but it's, yeah, there's a lot of things going on in there at the same time, really.
I'll tell you one thing, as you get older and the more fights you have, and you start to slow down a little bit, them openings seem to shut up and disappear a lot quicker than when you're younger, that's for sure.
There's a good jab there from Dulorme, then went down to the body with the right hand. I like that as an idea. The referee, though, saying that the right hand was low. They've been pretty hot on low blows tonight.
Whether you're a fan of boxing here, you know, not the big names, you know, a lot of guys now maybe watching this and don't know who these are, but they'll be enjoying the fight. But if you're a boxing purist as well, this is one to admire, you know, the strategy behind it, trying to find the openings, both thinking, you know, really is an entertaining fight, and now a good exchange from both guys here.
Really good action there, both unloading to the body. Dulorme was under a bit of fire, but that's good range there from Vargas. Just set his feet and let the 1-2 go. The right hand was short and crisp. and then just pops out the jab as Dulorme tries to come forward.
Yeah, really good stuff, real quality, really enjoyable, good action here. Like Darren said, these aren't maybe superstars of the sport, but this is high quality stuff, and if you're a boxing purist, you'll be really enjoying this action.
And it just goes to prove what we've been talking about with regard to the welterweight division, because these two are not up towards the top of it because of those names like Spence, like Garcia, like Porter, like Crawford, like Thurman, like Pacquiao, but these are two quality fighters.
Good left hook from Dulorme there. Yeah, really good, Andy. Like you say, these are two top welterweights, top contenders, and like you say, maybe just outside of the top 5, but I think certainly both top 10. Certainly Vargas and Dulorme would be knocking on that door as well, and there's not much in this fight. I've got Vargas around ahead, but very close fight.
Just bouncing on the balls of his feet there, Dulorme, as he goes back to the corner. Vargas in the opposite corner, the blue corner, and that cut's never really threatened to get out of control at all. They've done a good job on that, just sealing it up. It's absolutely on the belt line, that right hand. It just depends what the referee said to them in the dressing room and when he called them together in the centre of the ring at the start of the fight. Some will say on the belt is fine, some will say below the top of the belt isn't.
Yeah, I would say, but you know, underneath the strap there, the belt is low. But good stuff if we're seeing in these replays. That was a lovely left hook, but caught on the glove of Vargas. But it was a lovely how he slipped inside the jab through the left hook. Good stuff.
Let's go.
You get the sense that Dulorme has been working hard since that defeat to Dennis Ugas, that there's been a lot of frustration there. He's made changes, now trained by Joel Diaz down in Indio, California, and climbing into a big left hand there, but Vargas coming back with his own right hand. They're landing solid, clean punches here a lot of the time. The blood coming from that cut by the right eye there from Vargas again for the first time. We haven't seen that flow for a little while. Maybe there's further damage to it.
There's that lead left hook that Dulorme is looking to throw. He's landed it a couple of times now. He kind of leans in as if to lead with the jab, and he just turns it to a left hook at the last minute because he's got good hand speed. You know, he's been very effective with it.
But one of the first defence you're taught as a kid to defend against a jab is a parry, and when you can feint the jab, draw the parry, you're wide open to a left hook, and Dulorme does that very well.
He's come out really strong at the start of this 8th round in the first minute, and you just wonder, did he sense something in Vargas, because he came out and really tried to bring it, really tried to put it on him.
He hasn't got going yet, Vargas, this round. Don't know if the cut's unsettled him. It's better though, stepping in, a bit more positive.
At a good pace, a good tempo. I just get the sense that Dulorme is very much embracing the role of the kind of underdog here. He's going to fight every second, every minute, every round, because in his eyes I think he feels that it's a kind of champion-challenger situation, the house fighter against the man in the away corner, and that if he wants to get the win here, he's got to really go after it and try and put his stamp on this.
Yeah, well, I'll give him the last few rounds to Vargas. I thought he just nicked them. Not a lot, you know, no close rounds, but I just swayed it his way, probably landed the better shots. But I think so far in this round, Dulorme certainly winning this round so far for me.
It's a tiring fight for both these guys as well, when you're having to think so much. You know, you can be fighting an opponent like Joel Miller, you know, a guy that just keeps walking forward, but in some respects they're not as difficult as fights like this where you're having to think all the time about the next shot. You really can't switch off for a second. Yeah, maybe they're not as physically demanding, but concentration levels have to be so high you can't afford to switch off, not for a second. That's better for Vargas. Yeah, good counter, right.
good jab as well off the back of it.
Nice one too.
Just trying to move his head there, Dulorme, and dip straight onto a right hand. 2/3 of the way through this, 8 rounds in, 12 scheduled, and it's been a very entertaining fight, engrossing stuff right from the beginning.
That head again from Dulorme. He doesn't mean it, but he is clumsy at times. Bit of a scrappy exchange there, but it was a good left hook landed by Dulorme.
Yeah, good left hook there. Vargas come back with the right hand, but Dulorme had the better of it. The left hook was probably the best shot in that exchange. Vargas came back well in that round, but I thought Dulorme did enough in the first 2 minutes to shade it.
Just some more running repairs on that cut underneath the eyebrow. A little bit of scuffing of marking up around the forehead and around the mouth. A bit of blood in the mouth there from Dulorme too. Straight onto the jab, into the middle of the ring there, Dulorme. And straight onto the jab. Another really stiff lead left hand there from Dulorme again. He's looking to start these rounds quick and try and dictate terms, get on top early in them.
It really is in the balance here. Not much in it going into the last 4. Like we said before, you know, the winner of this fight really goes on to big things. I've said it a number of times, a pot of gold is huge. What being in this stacked welterweight division, there's all to play for now in the last 4.
Yeah, close fight. I got Vargas with his nose in front slightly, but yep, close fight. There's that left hook we were talking about again, but fair play, Vargas came back with a quick right-handed of his own.
We saw that blood in the mouth of Dulorme, and maybe he's got a cut on the inside of his mouth, maybe he's got a cut on his tongue. That can be nasty, that can be difficult. You start swallowing blood, it can cause you a few problems, but he's going to bite down and get through it, whatever is going on.
Yeah, anything like that can unsettle you. I mean, boxing's hard enough as it is when you're perfect, when you're 100%, but when you get a cut, whether it's on, you know, the top of your eyes, just good work, or on your lip or in your mouth, perforated eardrums, anything like that, you know, it just makes it twice as hard. So credit to these guys.
Throwing that right hand with real intent there, Dulorme didn't land. Jab to the body and then leading with that left hook, but Vargas had the right glove up in place. Last couple of rounds, Dulorme is the more assertive of the two. When you look at their kind of body language, he's the one who's trying to boss it in there.
Yeah, we were talking about like setting traps and playing chess, and Darren said, you know, the first thing you're showing him when someone throws a jab at is to parry it, so you know the parry's coming. If you feint that jab and you can turn that jab into a left hook quickly, as the hand's out for the parry, it leaves that gap there and you can find the gap, and that's what Dulorme is doing.
It's a good right hand. Moved in behind the jab and then through the straight right hand. Good
Left hook from Vargas there.
Absolutely, just as Dulorme dipped and moved forward, he timed him well.
Yeah, and in a close round, you know, whoever finishes strong here or a combination like that can just sway it your way, and good finish to the round here from Vargas.
Well, heading down the stretch at the Wintrust Arena in Chicago.
Bingo, boss.
There have been some very tight rounds in this fight, and that was another one, really. Dulorme, I wouldn't exactly say dominated entirely, but was on top until the closing stages, and then Vargas landed some good, clean, quality shots towards the end, and this may just come down to who is in best condition, who wants this most, heading into the final few rounds. You see the blood coming from the mouth again there, and there is a lot of blood in that mouth. You could see from the way that he spat that water out. And he has to put that out of his mind, just as Vargas has to put that cut under his right eyebrow out of his mind. This is boxing, this is what happens, and both of these two so desperately want the win here.
Yeah, close fight here. Even if the rounds are close, you know, I'd probably Dulorme busting the round, then Vargas comes back strong, but I still thought Dulorme did enough in the first 2 minutes of the round to take the round, but it's a very close fight.
It's funny that at the end there, I just had Vargas nicking it with a nice left hook through, so you can see some of these rounds are close.
Yeah, a bit like the Canelo-Golovkin fight the other week, you know what I mean? It was, I had Golovkin by a round, but if someone said Canelo by 2, I wouldn't have argued with that. It was a very, very close fight.
But like you say, Andy, there is definitely a cut, I think, on the lip of Dulorme. Not making a fuss of it, but like I said before, when you do have a blemish or something like that, it's just, you could do without it. Blood going in the mouth. Both still thinking, trying to find that opening. Good jab to the body, good counter jab. Always thinking, it really has been a good fight, this one.
Just overbalanced a bit with the right hand there, Dulorme. It's engrossing to watch it, because sometimes in this situation you've got one fighter who's thinking and looking for a breakthrough, and one who's waiting. And Vargas, with a perfectly timed right hand, landed just as Dulorme came forward. Goes down onto a knee, but you could see that one really just stopped him right in his tracks. The impact doubled because he was coming forward himself, so the knockdown scored by Vargas. And can he put the pressure on here and get a further one? But in any case, that could be big, because this will be a 10-8 on the scorecards, unless Dulorme could do something dramatic in the final minute of round 10.
Superb combination there, just straight 1-2, straight down the middle, and it just shows you, you know, if you switch off in a fight like this, throw a sloppy shot, you will get countered by a guy that is extremely focused.
Well, I think they both went for the same punch, the same combination, the 1-2, and Vargas beat him to the punch. Lovely right hand there from Vargas.
Yeah, you're right, Vargas was just that bit more snappy, a bit more quicker than Moraes, and yeah, hit the target.
As he landed that right hand, Vargas, Dulorme answered back straight away. Good body punching there from Dulorme as well. He's got himself back together well here.
Yeah, he has. Regrouped well.
10 seconds.
He's in good condition to take a shot like that and only go down to a knee and then recover in this kind of time. Big round though for Jessie Vargas. Who knows how significant that could be when it comes to the final analysis. Scoring judges ringside: Ray Danseco, Mike Fitzgerald and Mike Ross.
Hey, I just took a shower.
He was opening up to throw the right hand, and he got crunched by a right himself.
Yeah, it was a lovely shot. It really was. Timed it perfectly, right on the button. Credit to Dulorme though, he got up and he tried to finish the round, because he knows in a fight as close as this, a knockdown, a 10-8 round could be very, very costly.
Seconds out! Let's go! Let's go! 11. 1 second. Let's go!
So into the 11th, and through 9 rounds, you had it level, so that sees Vargas open up a little bit of clear water with that 10-8.
Yep, gone 2 up now because of the 10-8 round, 2 rounds to go, but it's a close fight. Been a really good, high-quality action. can see eyes wide open, very switched on, lots of kid in there, lots of fainting with the feet, looking down at the feet, lots of setting traps, lots of chess going on in there. One trying to lure the other one into making a mistake that he can then make him pay for.
As you've been saying, those concentration levels just haven't wavered. The technique of both of them has held together completely. Neither has looked ragged, really, at any stage. They both trained really well for this, and they both know what is on offer here tonight.
Yeah, and you can see Vargas constantly just taking those little tiny little half steps, not even half steps, little just inches, he's trying to lure Dulorme into leading or lunging or reaching that he can then make him pay for and counter him. But he's that's what I mean when we can see them there, just the tiny little inches, just edging, trying to lure the other guy into making a mistake.
Yeah, like you say, Andy, they've both obviously trained very hard for this, and preparation is key in a fight like this. Sparring partners to be able to try and put together a game plan, trying to find sparring partners that fight similar to your opponent, because in a fight like this, something like that can really make the difference.
Yeah, really can, it really can. But that was a brilliant 1-2 left uppercut that Vargas landed there a few moments ago, and some good body work going in. Vargas with the jab, Dulorme trying to drive the straight right hand into the body. Both fought it. It's like you said, it's just that little bit of good left hook from Dulorme.
Really good left hand there from Dulorme, and just for a second there, Vargas looked unsteady. I think it was more the fact that he was weaving away to his left-hand side, but he almost seemed to list a little bit. I don't think it was actually the case into the final 30 seconds.
I was just kind of saying that both men have fought at a range where they're just at punching distance. They've never really, there hasn't been many clinches. The ref hasn't had to separate them. You know, they're both kind of just at punching distance, just outside it.
Last few seconds of round 11, just one to go after this, and it's been really enjoyable. Really good 11 rounds so far, and I'm sure we'll be treated to a fantastic finish in the final 3 minutes. These are two fighters on the fringes of the top level in the welterweight division. Here's a question for you. We saw Amir Khan fight a few weeks ago. He wants back into this kind of mix. How would he get on against either of these two?
Good fight. I do think that's good matchmaking there, Andy. You know, I think Amir Khan against either of these would make for a great fight.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, we were talking about the top 5 kind of welterweights. We were talking Terence Crawford, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, and you know, we said that maybe Vargas just outside that, and I'd probably say Amir Khan's just outside the top 5 now as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, 12th and final round. These two will come to the centre of the ring and touch gloves, and it's been fought in a really good spirit too. The heads have been a little bit of a problem at times, but nothing major. The referee hasn't really had to speak to either one of them about anything. They just got on with it.
No, and I think, like Matt said as well, the distance that they've kept from each other has allowed the action to flow. The referee's not had to get involved at all. I mean, there's been a clash ahead a couple of times, but it really has been a very, very interesting fight, one I've really enjoyed.
And on Matt's card, Vargas just opening up clear water, that 10-8 with a knockdown in round 10, then winning that 11th round on your card, 10-9. So if that's reflected on the judges' scorecards, and we've no idea whether it is or not, then Dulorme needs the stoppage in this final round, or a couple of knockdowns to tie it up. But second-guessing the judges is a very difficult and hazardous thing to do. A couple of left hands there from Vargas, one just rocks Dulorme right back onto his heels.
Yeah, been a very close fight. Obviously the knockdown is probably the thing that puts the bit of distance between them, but yeah, really good fight, really absorbing, really enjoyed it. Like you say, it hasn't been a slugfest. It won't be fight of the year, but one I've thoroughly enjoyed. It's been high quality stuff. The referee hasn't had to separate them. It's been fought at that distance that we just talked about, and it's been real high quality stuff.
Jab just falling short there from Vargas. Midway through, just past midway in this 12th and final round.
That was a good shot on Dulorme there. Just as I was about to say Vargas, I thought was doing the better in this last round. Started well, but back comes Dulorme, as he has most of the fight.
There's never been a stage, has there, where one has really got conclusively on top. They've threatened to at times, but then the other has always had an answer, has always had something to come back with, and that's been true throughout individual rounds as well as throughout the course of the fight itself.
Yeah, definitely, and it's been tit for tat. There was a phase there where you thought that maybe Vargas was taking over, then Dulorme comes back, wins a couple of rounds, then, you know, Vargas comes back and has a good round and scores a knockdown, then wins the next round. But even within each round, it's ebbed and flowed, and it's been a really absorbing, really entertaining fight to watch.
Final 30 seconds, and the crowd in the Wintrust Arena have really enjoyed this. Both getting behind these two fighters. Will one of them really try and finish with a flourish here? They've got to keep those concentration levels high. Big right hand from Dulorme, and he puts Vargas down. Like Dulorme, he didn't go completely over, but he's touched down, and this will be a 10-8 round for Thomas Dulorme, and that was landed with, what, 5 seconds to go before the end of the fight, and how important might that be?
Incredible, incredible. I mean, I don't know if that does enough for Dulorme, but certainly, it asks the question, does he deserve something from this fight now? I mean, look what he does there. I mean, match card, 1 point in it. Incredible, what a fight right at the end there.
I really enjoyed that fight from start to finish. It was there was traps being set, there was feint, they were trying to lure the other guy into making a mistake that could make him pay. Vargas constantly edging, trying to lure Dulorme into reaching that he could counter him. It was really high quality stuff. High quality stuff, sorry, and it was an entertaining and absorbing fight.
Well, just that single point in it on your scorecard, 114, 113, one knockdown apiece, and that almost final blow that was landed there by Thomas Dulorme could be very important. Well, this is the knockdown scored by Vargas in round 10, and just a beautifully timed punch as Dulorme was opening out to throw his own right hand and went down to the knee, but he recovered well from it. And it looked like that may well have been enough just to see Vargas sail away a little bit, and then the right hand and the glove touched down. It was just enough to see him not supporting himself solely with his feet, and that is the rule.
So almost as if he wasn't looking where he was throwing the shot then, he was just sort of in a mid-exchange and he just let the right hand go and managed to catch Vargas on the chin, and down he goes. And I mean, if Dulorme was to get anything from this fight, Vargas really will be kicking himself, because that was right at the end there.
Well, great sportsmanship between the two. He knows that could be costly, Vargas, but it was boxed in a really good spirit. Two highly skilled practitioners just tucking up at the start of the fight, going at it for 12 rounds and then shaking hands at the end, which is what you always want to see. They're having a nervous wait here. You just never know with the scorecards what you're going to get, but all three of us watching that felt that was a really close fight, and we're not alone in that. Our colleagues at ringside too, most people around us, you're looking around trying to see how people have got it, and there's people just shaking their heads.
Ladies
they're not really sure.
After 12 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division for the vacant WBC silver belt, we go to the scorecards. Ray Danseco scores it 115-111. He has it for Vargas. Mike Fitzgerald, Mike Ross both have it 113-113. By majority rule, this fight is a draw.
Well, it's Draw, and I would not argue with that at all. Mike Fitzgerald and Mike Ross give it a draw. A few boos from the crowd.
How you scored it, how about
But that,
a
for
round of
me,
applause for the two fighters
is
in
an
the ring.
absolutely
A hell
fair
of a
decision.
fight
115,
here in the
111
Windy
from
City,
Ray
Chicago,
Danseco.
Illinois. Thomas
And I think the only answer to this is that these
Jessie
two
Vargas.
are going to have to do this again. The WBC silver was on the line. This was never officially a final eliminator with the World Boxing Council. I got the impression from the way they worded their statement at the convention that if Vargas won, then they would be happy to put him in as mandatory supporter. But if Dulorme did, then they wouldn't be so happy to put Dulorme in as the mandatory. But nothing's been resolved, so it doesn't really matter.
No, and do you know what? Looking there, look, Dulorme's more upset with the decision. Vargas seems, you know, quite happy with it, smiling. He'll be really